Amazing exhibit. This is some great stuff. It's rock and roll history. It's from one of the most amazing decades in the history of everything, especially music. And Mark does not disappoint. He never does.
He's really talented and captured so much of the time.
The rock star photography.
I feel like I'm at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. What I see so far is pretty much amazing.
Took a lot of great shots. He defined an era, and he's the man.
Let me introduce you to the man of the hour, Mark Weiss.
Thanks. Everyone that's here is very special to me. Everyone, thanks for coming. Yeah, I just can't believe, like, all this stuff. I kept going to my garage and bringing other things in, my jackets, my records, picking the photos. So this is just like a one-of-a-kind, very unique, like gallery museum. I guess I made it to the museum world. That sounds kind of weird. And Neil, who was the first heavy metal band that I did a photo session with in 1980, who were featured in the band in the museum. They're there right underneath Bruce Springsteen and Robin Zander and Brian Johnson and David Lee Roth. They were a band that really took the storm, took the Jersey club in the tri-state area in the East Coast. They did covers, they did Led Zeppelin, AC/DC, anything was out there. They were the first band to probably wear spandex, or I shot them in 1978.
And this guy shows up, and he's a little kid with a camera and a plan.
Tall and skinny though, it wasn't little.
Well, he seemed like it because we were on the stage, and he was down there, and he's looking up, and he's, getting his angles and whatnot. At the end of the set, he comes over and he says, listen, I want to shoot for Hit Parader one day. I want to shoot rock and roll, and if I shoot you guys, will it be okay if I can get on the stage? And I said, look, man, you'll have access to anything you want as long as we can have usage rights to the pictures, and we'll give you a photo credit if the pictures are worth using. And he was like, you got a deal. And that was it. And I'll tell you, this guy was there all the time. And we got some great pictures. We used to use them in the aquarium all the time. There were, live shots that he was doing. A couple of years in, he's like, I want to do a studio shoot for you guys. Let's do it. And that's what's on the wall over there. And Suzette, Dee's wife, was making the clothes for us, from Twisted Sister. And she was at the shoot. It was in Morristown. And Mark cut his teeth on White Tiger. You really did. I mean, you started shooting us then. Yeah. And boy, when we stopped doing it in '82, you were on a roll, man. You were shooting for everybody. Everybody.
Well, White Tiger, if you were a teenager and you were a guy and you had hormones, you go to a White Tiger show and you end up with a girl. Thank you. I have 6 children because of White Tiger. I've been wanting to do this for 40 years. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to say White Tiger, but can I say it?
You can say it.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce to you White Tiger.
Smoke myself and drink all my wine. In my mind, I'm gonna make it start. Go to California with a Navy in my heart. Someone told me there's a girl out there, love in her eyes and flowers.
We do have one more special guest. I'm not going to make a big thing out of this. I just want to introduce you to her because you might have seen her around, walking around. Her name's Angela, and I haven't seen her in a while, and actually 34 years. And the story behind it is, Bon Jovi did an album called Slippery When Wet. Actually, it was called Wanted Dead or Alive first. And they were all dressed like cowboys and badasses, like they were in Billy Kid movies. They all grew beards and came to my studio. And it didn't work out. The record company didn't want that. They wanted something else. And long story short, after a couple photo shoots in Vancouver and there, we came up with Slippery When Wet and the road sign, and I just want, Angela, come on over here, just say hi. This is Angela, Slippery When Wet girl. How you doing? She looks fantastic. And yeah, it's been great, and that photo out of any album cover in the 80s, it's probably the only one that gets talked about. We're going to turn it into like a yearly thing where I bring another rock and roll photographer that maybe inspired me, or I just want to bring the rock and roll into the kids so they can see it. And this museum is amazing. It's like, no one really knows. It goes beyond these walls. It's like, Donna took me for a walk, like maybe a few days ago, and I was like, there's more to this than just this. And there's all these things that they had open before the pandemic where they had school kids, coming by and learning things. And so this is going to change really, for the future, so the kids can learn and they can come to a safe place.
I'm Ben Fleischner. I'm the chairman of the board of the Monmouth Museum. And we're standing in the middle of the Mark Weiss exhibit, the 80s, the decade that rocked. And this exhibit rocks. It's really great. If you lived through the 80s, either as a teenager or as I was an adult having kids, this captures it. And if you look around, you will have memories. Whether you like the music or not, you saw the people, you saw MTV, all these things were happening, and this really brings it back in a very nice way.